Hey guys, what's up? It's London from LNTV, and in case you guys missed it last week, today we will be doing all sorts of reviews of Top Notch Babysitter, all the way from their debut animated installment, which is um their first film, which is the debut film animated from 2018. No, this will not be including the live action film from 2005, which I have special plans for. Trust me, that's coming up. And the live action scrapped sequel from 2006, that one's coming up too. So basically, what this is over is I go over the main animated installments and review them from my thoughts of Top Notch Babysitter, because Top Notch Babysitter has a new film coming out January 13th, 2024, through once again Skyworks and MSL. And this film will be called Top Notch Babysitter 3 Melissa in Charge. I'm very excited for that film. But yeah, up until that point, I will be reviewing every single installment from Top Notch Babysitter in redemption review style. And today we'll be looking at their second achievement in that category, Top Notch Babysitter Second Gen 1, which was released on December 26th of 2018. This film definitely took a complete turnaround from the original film, showing a more darker, edgier, grittier personality than the first film, showing how a moral and a lesson to the film too, that even though you get bullied, and how you take that in really affects you as a person. This definitely happened with Micaiah and Ryan Spost in this film, and it's definitely kind of obvious that that's the plot of this movie, is that she has to overcome her bullying and learn how to take it to a peaceful level and report Ryan Spost for what he's done wrong. This movie definitely feels like a good attempt to show that even though things bug you, don't let it get you down, and there's always light in the dark. That is the message of this film. This movie was teased on a website, and I remember this clearly at the end of November 2018. They teased this movie on a website called secondgen1.com, or just at the time secondgen.com, teasing little leaked footage and snippets from this movie. And then they officially dropped the trailer on there and then put it on in theaters, and everybody was so confused at how different this movie was from the original. But to be fair, it's good. I like the fact they jarred genres so quickly for the right purposes and right reasons to show everybody that Top Notch Babysitter was capable from the start, more of that darker feels. And it really works well with this movie, honestly. This movie is definitely really good. Has a lot of scenes that feel nostalgic. There are great scenes within this movie. The whole concept of this movie is great, showing that there is a lot more flourish. And yes, I do still like the film we reviewed last time better, which was the first film from September 26th of 2018. But this film still showed them at their finest, almost complete finest, too. So it's kind of a work of art, and it's really hard to say anything about this film negative or bad. It's more so a positive thing with all these installments. Keep in mind, Top Notch Babysitter is my favorite franchise of all time, so I do not mess up on these reviews. And this movie was no exception to those rules. This is a very, very good film with a lot of very, very good and memorable moments on it for the nostalgic second film it is in their animated category, or third studio installment in total, however you want to look at it. But this film was no exception to those rules. It definitely played to their strengths, and I was definitely really impressed with this project overall. I think this project really showcased a lot of their more darker, heavier emotions, leaning towards something more like Opposites Part 1, but done way before that film. This film was so much more short, a little bit longer, 23 minutes actually. The last film was 19 minutes. That also does have a lot more influences in this movie, specifically noting towards a more edgier side, but it feels like it's a lot of their own style. There are some stuff that feels like, very similar to what Boss Toddler was doing around this time with Back in Business Season 2. And there's a little bit of similarity to it. I don't want to say fully, but with what was going on with the remake films around this time and M&M's, which is definitely not a bad thing. I think this movie definitely wears its influences on its sleeve, if you will, to the greatest of heights, and shows us how proud it is of that sleeve. This movie really has a lot of influence from those things, but it also incorporates its own style to them and its own twists and turns, making this movie surprise after surprise after surprise. Honestly, this movie is very interesting. The plot and direction of this film is very, very interesting, and definitely a very different approach from what they were doing previously. This movie definitely is surprising to a lot of fans of that film. It didn't exactly do well on the first few watches, but then when people kept coming into the theater and experiencing it and realizing don't flip on a franchise for trying something different, that's when this movie definitely showed its fullest potential. And honestly, what can you say? It is a masterpiece. It is a work of art. There's a lot of good things about this movie, and everybody loved this film even then, and still are coming around to it as heck. This is really good. This is one of Top Notch Babysitter's finest first achievements, and I'm really proud of this project. So overall, this was also one of the last shortest project they did for this saga, before they all get like an hour long or over an hour long. And honestly, this is one of the most interesting films to end that note on. It's also a really good one. Honestly, I'm definitely going to be considering a high score for this. I'm thinking like a 2.9 out of 3. This is really good. It would have been peak perfection though, if it weren't for a couple other films in this list that I do think take top spot. But it's almost peak perfection. This movie is really, really good. It's very interesting, very good film, and it's really, really good. I highly recommend you check out Second Gen 1 that landed back in December 2018. Let me know what you guys thought of this review. I'll see you guys next week for Third Gen 1, and I'll see you next time. Peace.